Zeta RA is now supplying us with several of the most basic resources available, but it may be time to give Alpha Andromedae 4 another visit, wielding, specifically, our latest logistical knowledge. Hello, Legion, this is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Dyson Sphere Program. In our Alpha Andromedae series, before I head to Alpha Andromedae, I mentioned at the end of the last episode that I wanted to get a specific resource importing, and I would like to take steps in that direction. However, I don't think I have an open slot currently. So let me take care of another few things first, just given how some of the discussion in the most recent episodes has gone. Let's see, I might need to just delete these. Also, it may be time, yeah, this'll work. Can I put one down in the, I can, amazing. Let's put that there. I can delete that. Maybe delete a few others. Let's see. Oh yeah. That's no longer needed. And then we can delete that one just in case it gets in the way too. So the reason I'm doing this is that since we have these pilers working, that has changed the rate of flow through my storage here for all this hydrogen. We need to chop down this tree. As much as it pains me, the tree must go. Goodbye, tree. Need to chop down this tree too. As much as it pains me, goodbye. Alright, let's go. Yeah, we're gonna do this. This is really just to ensure that we have enough hydrogen entering both sides of this thing. So, yeah, this will work. So, if I do this, because it's flowing out at double the rate, so it needs to flow through all of these at double the rate, at least. I mean, at this point, I don't need to do another... The splitter is doing the job here. Although, if the oil were to ever increase stack size, then yeah, I would need to have it split like this. So let's try it. Also, are you... Alright, you do not have a vein, so I can delete you. Okay. Now, there's still a lot of coal in this particular setup. Hang on. I might need to move you. We will head to Alpha Andromedae in just a second, but there's a fair amount of coal here. Yeah, I guess until... I mean, I could rotate it slightly to get, like, a... Yeah, see, now it's going to collide with things. Hang on, what if I rotated it, like, here? Yeah, see, that's a 5 there. What I need... Oh, yeah, I have the new miners, although I don't have the resources that I need for them. So pretty soon, what I'm doing here will not be a problem. I forgot about that. Yay. One of the things I'm really excited about, Legion, I'm going to do a little bit of technical commentary here. Now that Heralds of the Dark Nova is done pre-recording, and now that I've started my series in First Contact, you have no idea the feeling of, like, return to normalcy after all of some of, like, the chaos, not only with the channel and some of the recording changes, but also... I don't need to do that, I just need to reconnect it. But also the... just the external stuff, like needing to go out of town. Like, there's a real feeling now of being able to get back into a rhythm, which I was very much in a rhythm in January, and then got thrown off by various things in February, and then, I mean, it's complicated, and I would need to do, like, a look-ahead video to talk about it, rather than talk about it here, but I'm so excited right now, as I sit down to record this episode and the next, because I can really, really focus on returning to a normal workflow, which is beyond exciting. I can't begin to tell you how wonderful it feels. Okay, so... that problem is temporarily solved. Also, alright, you're running low, but you still have resources. Okay. Let's come over here. We're going to need to build another... First of all, let's look at power. Yeah, power is completely fine for the time being. Emphasis on for the time being. Now, See, this is perfect because over here we're producing... Where are they outputting them? They're outputting them here. So we pretty much need to have a new station that imports them here. So I can just feed them into the existing line. So I'm going to do a satellite substation here. Wow, look at how little fuel I'm sending this way now. But part of the reason for that is that I'm using fuel to generate this organic crystal. So that's really going to change. That's really fascinating. Yeah, that's going to change. It's going to change soon. So let's get the organic crystal importing. Needs to be like right... I'm going to be as precise about this as I can be. Yeah. If I get it right here, I should be golden. Alright, and of course we will need to build new transports. Well, we don't have to, per se, but could be nice. Also, let's see here. See, this is a planetary one. Where's the closest interplanetary that I have? I'm trying to remember how these were sent here. So they're being demanded locally. Did I set up warpers? That's what I did, didn't I? Yep, I set up warpers. Alright. I might need to increase my warper supply just because I am now starting to produce so many of those. But I can set warpers up for local demand. I haven't typically done that in the past. I tend to use, surprise, I tend to use conveyor belts and just spread them across my base. Spaghetti style. It's fun. No, I was not one of those kids that loved playing with his, as I called it, Paschetti. But in this game, I do enjoy kind of snaking the lines around each other. It's not... It's part of the gameplay for me. Where the heck is that? Oh, yeah, organic crystal. It's part of the gameplay. Alright, so now... I want that to output on this line. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. And then you will come here. So organic crystal is going to take a moment. Let's go ahead and say that we want remote demand. And we already have some being brought, because remember, those transports are standing by on that planet, which is beautiful. So there's a couple things I can do now. Let me first of all let these organic crystal producers have a bit of the resources that are filling up my inventory so that I no longer have to worry about them. Also, can I upgrade them? I may have what I need to... Well, I don't need to upgrade them because I'm going to be deleting them soon. They're not going to exist for much longer. But in the spirit of that, let's go ahead and delete their resource pools so that they're no longer taking away from, for instance, that oil that I was just looking at. I just want them outputting the results of... Yeah, I just want them to output the results of whatever they're making now, and then when they're empty, I can delete them. And it will be glorious. Done. So already we should be able to see an increase in the amount of oil being burned for power. It's slight, but it's there. Alright, we are completely okay on these. I think I can probably build these stacks a little higher so I can get these resources producing. Yeah, so that's gonna cause a spike in power consumption, but it's okay. I'm alright with it. I will allow it. So how are we doing on these resources? Alright, I'm totally fine on sulfuric acid. Still bringing in diamond A little bit slower than I would have thought. That's surprising. It might just be that there's not enough transports to bring it. Possibly. And so increasing the size of transports could be helpful with that. But that's honestly surprising. I wouldn't have expected that. Let me go ahead and empty this here. All right, this tank is completely full. So I could, yeah, let's do this thing again. Okay, so what's one way that I have of making this less of a problem? I mean, I could use a piler here, so let's do this. I've been trying to solve this problem for most of the series, and frankly, I could probably use the knowledge that I have to build a new setup kind of from the ground up, either on series or particularly off. It would be a good thing to practice off camera. Okay, so that piler will make it a little bit easier. And then if I also piled these, it'll basically make the lines denser. Yeah, and then I mean, in theory, I also need to pile these, which I could do. I'd have to delete this, but hang on. That's totally doable. Why not just have another piler like... I don't love this, but... sacrifices are necessary. Oh, this should work. Here we go. Great. And then, of course, we, on top of all that, we have the spray painter, making it even more ridiculous. So now every single line coming in is being piled up. So that's going to make it less likely that the oil situation will, you know, back up and prevent things from being refined properly. So it looks like diamond is now a bit of a choke resource, I would guess, because we're not really researching very quickly anymore. And it does seem like... oh no, it's not diamond. It's titanium. It's totally titanium. That's surprising. Also, notice how many organic crystals I have here now. Because they arrived while we were doing that. So the organic crystal producers can probably be shut down. So we're now importing... let's take a look. We're importing organic crystal. We're importing fire ice. And then we can continue working on some of these other exotic resources. We're also importing... are we importing spiniform stalagmite yet? We are, aren't we? No, we're not yet. So that's one that definitely needs to get imported, because then I no longer need to consume both titanium and graphene to make carbon nanotubes. So that will free up titanium. Titanium is part of my problem right now. So there's an argument that maybe even before I address my titanium issues on Alpha Andromedae 4, that I should go figure out what I can do with spiniform stalagmite. But let's stick to my guns. Let's stick to our guns. Stick to Icarus's guns. One of those. All right. Ironically, we're still piling up here. Holy crap. So maybe I just need to burn more oil. That's the message that I'm getting. Yeah, look at this. These have fully reactivated and we're completely fine on power. So since that's the case, yeah, we're gonna burn more oil. Apparently I need some electromagnets, or rather some magnetic coils. So let's grab just a couple of stacks of those. Look at all these ships buzzing around. I don't know that I've ever created in Dyson Sphere Program a base where there was as much going on in the sky. And that's probably fairly obvious to a lot of you because of how much I do enjoy my spaghetti. All right, what are we looking at? Yeah. Just 4? Really? Hang on. That's better. Okay, so I really need to build more than this at a time. Hang on. Let me go ahead and... Yeah, that's better. Now I'm not having to produce quite as much in order to make all those. Okay, so now I also want to have a little bit of landfill as I completely clicked the wrong thing. There we go. Two, three. Three. Oh, this soundtrack, the harmony. This might be, and this is, for those of you who have followed my channel for a long time, this is saying a lot and you know it. This might be one of my favorite instrumental tracks, especially in an open world game like this. I don't know if I would say it's one of my favorite instrumental tracks in games, period, because there are so many. But just wow. It's so good. Oh, wait. Maybe I did do that properly. Oops. There we go. Alright, so now you can tell that some of the power plants are no longer getting oil, which is... Oh, that might be because they're not connected. It's because they're not connected. Damn it, I was so excited. I was like, hey, there's an indication that I'm chewing through the supply, but no, they're just not connected. Damn it. Oh, no. Alright. So how did that do? Did that solve our problem? No, of course it didn't. Wow. What do I do here? This just makes me want to stare at it for a second until I figure it out. I'm trying to think of a switch system that I might be able to set up, and I think I may be able to do it. Let me stare at it for a second, and then I'll explain it once I've thought it through. I don't want to just create a system that has additional storage that could pile up and then once full lead us to the same problem. That's just a delay. I mean, just burning more of the stuff would be the optimal solution. For now, I can flip this path just to completely stop the problem from being a problem. But again, I've been managing that manually. If there was a way to manage it automatically, you know what? I just realized there is a way. And it's an obvious way, and I'm really mad at myself now. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Yeah. There's a way, alright. Hold on. And it's to use the mechanic that I never use. for reasons that I've described, never wanting to use it. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, this will work, actually. But first of all, let's flip this path, because I do want it to feed out. So, it's... Oh man, this is such a great example of, like... Okay, so let me think here. I don't want to have it just connect to the line. So no, it's actually not going to be what I was just describing. What I was going to say is I was going to use a T-intersection. But this is going to be a steadier flow just coming straight from the storage, so it'll lead to the same problem. But what I can do is this. And I'm going to have that just steadily dripping onto the line. And also, I can probably build another piler here now. If I just had it connecting, because this is a steady flow, this is the line here, this one, that would get backed up. And we'd have the exact same problem. But now, see, it's just contributing. And the sorter won't do anything, which is what I want. This line won't do anything when this line is full. But when it starts to empty out just a little bit, it'll pile some stuff on the front. And the end result should be that we kind of see it looking like this constantly. Okay, so let's pay a visit. This is a little bit overdue at this point. Let me quickly look at what I'm carrying, because I probably can put a lot of this stuff away. Oh, also, I totally need to build those transports, don't I? Do I have what I need for those? I do. I have enough to build 10 exactly. So let's do that. So we can have the transport set up for our new interstellar logistics station. But yeah, just the sheer amount of power increase that we got. It's hilarious. All right, and also I don't need that many of those here. I just need, like, let's say 200. More organic crystal arriving. Yeah, organic crystal is no longer a problem at all. I think I can safely delete these now, which did give me some resources back. I think plastic-wise, I'm okay. I do need to upgrade these. My plastic production is not... Oh, interesting. So we're full of graphene. Yeah, my plastic production is not upgraded at all. So I'll have to take a look at that. Okay, almost done here. Where are they in my inventory? They're hiding from me. Oh, here they are. 10. Perfect. Now, of course, they're not going to go anywhere because we don't have warpers. So let's look at that before we leave, because there may be an obvious solution for that. Alright, so warpers... I mean, it looks like they have everything they need. So I really just need to expand the production of them. You know? It looks like they're pretty golden. So let's bring that to about right here. Lack of item. Really? Is that so? You were saying, game? I don't lack the item. Okay, so... Seems like we're good. may need to produce a few more of these, which thankfully I can manage that, so let's do that. And then as we end the episode, I will head to Alpha Andromedae 4. It took a little bit longer to finish this up than I thought it would, but it's okay. Okay, so some of these... Yeah, I'll tell you what. This is going to fit perfectly as an expansion. There's that. Now, these two will be the ones sending that direction. And then what I'll do here is have these two additional ones outputting onto this line, and then I can add a little bit more warper production at the same time. Now if I move this storage, I can do even more. And I technically don't even need the storage anymore, so... Although I will still use it, I think. What I'll do... Because I like having a box that I can just reach into. Kind of like a cookie jar for warpers. You know what I mean. So let's set that there. It's not going to fill up, ever. At least not in the immediate future. Alright, but there's that. And with that being done, let me take a quick look at how our automated production is going here. Oh, look at that. That makes me happy right there. We just had 10 ready to go. So this is definitely an example of something where I would want to just come and grab a whole bunch of a particular resource. Okay, it's time. Let's visit Alpha Andromedae, because we've got to figure out what we can do, especially now that I understand a little bit more about pilers. What's going on here? Let me just check the resource health of everything. Yeah, and I'm just looking at the towers to verify that everything is solid. Yeah, it is. So it definitely seems like titanium continues to be the issue. Let's go see why. It might be an obvious shortage. Like, we just need to mine some new deposits. Still need to get a better Dyson swarm going. That's been a really inefficient aspect of the game for a while now. That constellation right there of stars in the cluster almost resembles Orion. Accidentally. Look at that. Because we've got kind of a belt going there. That's cool. There it is. I was wondering where 4 was. Alright, yet another checkup on our most important resource outpost. Let's see what the issue is. How's your titanium doing? Oh wow, we have multiple problems here. Why is this happening? Oh, okay, hang on. I see why. I understand a little bit more about how pilers work now, so we're going to use that knowledge. Although at this point, it hardly needs to be used there. It needs to be used back here. Yeah, wow. So I guess this mine down here is where it needs to be used. Perfect. All right. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This should solve the issue if I'm truly understanding this. This should solve it almost immediately. Okay, so now we have piled up every resource coming down this line. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Actually, one thing I can do to ensure that it's all of them, or at least a healthier percentage of them, is I can cut these lines. Let's just reimagine this momentarily. So we can now have a single splitter for these guys with additional pilers leading into it. And do I have the resources to make more pilers? No, I do. Actually, I do. Just kidding. I'm fine. Alright, it'll take a second to produce those, but, well, no, it won't, because I'm going to produce them one at a time. Glorious. Alright, so there's one. There's two. And there's three. Still not even looking at the titanium issue yet, which is somewhat comical. Okay, so now those are all being piled. So what we should see yeah, so I could do the same thing here, honestly. Although in this case, the metal production of these mines is so minimal. Yeah, I see what I can do. It's so minimal at this point that... Alright, I just need one more piler, please. Although I'll grab a few more because I have a feeling it might help with other things aside from just this. Piling is all about density. Need to get that powered, though. Otherwise, it's doing jack nothing. There we go. Alright, so here's what I'll be curious about. Now that that is doing its thing. Yes, there we go. So this line is actually backing up now. We're producing a lot more iron here, which should help with chip production and also silicon. Why is silicon struggling? That is surprising that I have no silicon stored at all. So I still need to have more silicon being produced. I mean, it's not a problem. It's just surprising. So let's put these back in my inventory. Man. Can I do another one there? No, not quite. You know what I just realized, though? I could totally pull this off. Hang on. Alright, first, yeah, that Tesla tower wasn't even necessary, but watch this. Can I put a splitter there, maybe? Yes, I can. Glorious. Maybe a bit of overkill. But if silicon's part of the issue, I would like to address it. So I'm addressing it. Ah, damn it. I did not mean to do that. Oh, I deleted the whole line. Are you kidding me? That was an accident. clearly. All right, let's make sure it gets replaced properly. It did not get fully and completely perfectly replaced. All right, and now let's replace this line, which was headed down. Yeah, I had it in a very specific spot, and it might not work as well now. There we go. All right, and now it's a matter of just getting the outputs reconnected. Perfect. All right, now we're actually starting to see silicon back up, which is positive. Still not seeing iron back up, but that might change now that it's backed up in at least one direction. So we'll kind of see how that continues to play out. But titanium. Oh, that's why. There's not nearly enough production happening here. This is such a simple apparatus compared to the rest, isn't it? So why don't we just go ham with additional titanium production here? I don't feel bad at all. And we will, of course, need to build some additional... All right, the outputs are already in place, so it's just the inputs that we need. And then what I'll need to do is set up some pilers, just to make sure that this line stays nice and full. But titanium, after this, should no longer be an issue. I just need to check power on this planet. We're actually okay. Now, when I go get power set up, or when I get the upgraded smelters set up, those will be a power draw like you would not believe. Okay, you can definitely see that we need a little bit of help here. I really just have 2 titanium. Wow, that's crazy. Let's fix that right now. That was unexpected. Alright, I have 3 more pilers, and I am going to use them. I don't think they're necessary, really, but I'm going to use them anyway. Okay. Oh wait, that's not fully connected, is it? Nor is that. I must have just connected those in the wrong direction. Oops. There we go. Okay. So what we should see now, and I'm almost 40 minutes into this episode, and I need to stop. What we should see now is a lot more. It's going to take a moment for this to fully fill up, but titanium should start being produced much more reliably. Still seeing a little bit of an issue with iron. So I'm going to have to spend some more time at the beginning of the next episode really making sure that this situation is fixed, because we've still seen a slowdown with processors and with titanium. I think titanium is mostly going to be resolved now, but we could probably find an additional titanium mine somewhere to fully resolve it. But it's making sure that this is like as efficient as possible, using even more tricks than we've used in the past, so that we don't have to check up on the planet as much, is going to be an important thing for the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If it's not your first time or even your second, look for the join button to access unique emotes, badges, and other perks. New episodes are coming out every day at noon U.S. Eastern Time, and comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.